Don't you just hate that American accent?
Yeah, I do.
Right, guys. Good afternoon. Lovely to see you all. Everybody, tickety boo. Yeah. Right. So today it's not really skills, but it is skills, isn't it? It's stuff that we still need. By the way, something very super has just come out to all of us on our emails and everything. I've had a quick glance at the video. Take a look about a savings calculator. Good stuff coming out from HQ. Anyway, this is something they can't do for us. And it's something that I know sometimes causes consternation for people. And that is dealing with the whole realm of mobile phones. It has got easier, but what I've discovered over time is that companies, right, Ofcom brought out about 3 years ago now, they brought out some regulations to make for a customer to transfer their mobile service away from one to another supplier to make it easier.
Yeah.
And what do? These companies find ways of around that regulation to make it more difficult again.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to make it easy. They just don't. The easiest thing in the world would be that every handset is produced unlocked. If we get to that stage, I will be so pleased, because you could buy phones unlocked everywhere abroad. They don't. I think it's a UK rip-off Britain scam. Yeah, it's just something else to make life difficult for customers. So we're going to talk about two things, and I'm going to do them in the order that they should be done in, because you should never submit a PAC code until you know 100% that the handset's unlocked.
Oh,
right. Really important. Now, when we go online, we're offered pages. There's loads of different screens about submitting the pack code, giving a stack code, doing this, doing that. I have it from the horse's mouth at head office. Despite that sign-up process, they prefer it when we put in an extra safety guard. And the safety guard is that we don't give pack codes online when we sign up. Okay. What we do is we go through, we do everything, and then we ask the customer to let us know when they have received their utility warehouse new SIM card. Now, all my customers personally, I ask them to take a photograph of the piece of paper insert that shows the new utility warehouse mobile number and the new SIM number, because the reason I want to see it is I've got then 100% evidence proof it's in their safe house. They've got it.
Yeah.
Because Royal Mail is fallible and it can deliver to the wrong address. And there could be all sorts of awful trouble that could happen if it got into the wrong hands. So this is a safety net, something that you can do. So what's the first thing then? You've asked them, would they please ensure they take a photograph? I always say to attach it to a WhatsApp and send it to me. In fact, I've had one today. These come in all the time. I always explain to them, because not everybody understands. A lot of them get panicked when they see a new UW SIM number. No, I wanted my own mobile number. And even though you've told them, they've forgotten everything. Is it just my customers that do that?
No.
All right. So, but what you can do very nicely is say to them, do you remember I said? And then all of a sudden, miraculously, oh, yes, you did. Yeah. So it's reminding them that PAC code stands for Port Authorization Code. Porting, in other words, like going through a door. Yeah. And what they're going to do is their own mobile number is going to transfer and replace the new utility warehouse mobile number. That's actually what a pack code does. Okay, I believe it's purely done all digitally. Okay, that's what it's about. So you've asked them to do that. Then the next thing we want to do is find out, is their handset unlocked? Now, there is some simple procedures. If they had ever purchased it from either John Lewis or the now defunct Carphone Warehouse, there was a company that people used to get mixed up with us, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, now if they purchased the handset through either of those outlets, happy days, those handsets were always unlocked. So if they tell you that, that's a great start. The second thing you can do, and get ready to write here, is ask them to please go to their telephone keypad and dial *#06#. That's *#06#. And what that does is it brings up the information about the IMEI number. Now, you can be so happy if up comes on their screen 2 IMEIs. If there are, the handset's unlocked. Basically, it means they can put in any international SIM cards, anything. That's a lovely, lovely, quick way. But often what comes up is only...
Lisa, can I just ask, did you say 2 IMEIs?
Yes. If there's 2 come up, it's definitely unlocked.
Okay, thank you.
That's all right. If there's only 1, and often you'll get 1 IMEI, and then you'll get what's called an S/N number, you don't know at this point if the handset's unlocked. So if you're face to face, here's an easy way. Take out your SIM card, take out theirs, replace, and if the mobile signal and you get the sign 4G and all that come up, happy days, it's unlocked. That's a really simple way. Now, invariably, sometimes you're not face to face. You're at the end remote, aren't you? You're doing that. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting because the unlocking of a phone is really important. If I had £1 for all those customers that I could rely on, that they would get on and do this, I'd be a very wealthy lady. But the reality is, it doesn't matter what you say to folk, it gets in the way and they don't do stuff. And I've had customers that we've had to get a second port authorization code because they've taken that long. It's become not on their important agenda to get on and do. And they don't realize it's very important. Okay. So this is what I do, folks. And the beauty of Zoom is I can show you. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let's pick up a screen. Oh, look, there's a lovely screen. Top customer gatherers. Right. There we go. So can I ask everyone, are you seeing my good old googly page, my main page? Yeah.
Yes.
Super. Right. So let's say, for argument's sake, they're with, let's go EE. So EE. And of course, what comes up immediately, is everything about trying to get you to buy mobile phones. And what we're looking for is, here it is, ee.co.uk. That's what we're after. Here we are. Now, what is required is not as easy as it used to be, because as I say, they are really out to make life difficult to us. Because if you type in here, unlock phone, there we go. It's a community that comes up, and it's about as helpful as mud.
Yeah.
So what the reason I'm showing you is what you need to do is you need to log in. And I suggest that what you do is either you can give the controls to your customer and they do it all right, when you're on the Zoom, or I find my customers, if you've built great rapport, they would just give anything for someone else to just do this stuff that they don't want to do. And they happily give me passwords and everything. And once you're in, you type in unlock phone, and what happens, I'll stop the share at the moment now. Hang on a minute, because I can see you all then. What happens is when you go in and you press unlock phone, you sometimes have to tweak it, but what will come up is the area that offers you the chance to answer questions. Is it pay monthly or is it pay as you go? And I'm not going to tell you to suck eggs, guys, because this is simple stuff. You are literally answering a series of questions. They'll want the IMEI number and they'll want to have the make and model of the phone. Now, the easy way to find the make and model is, generally speaking, within their settings, under general, if you scroll to the bottom, there is about, all right? And on about is usually where it's all about the phone. If you've got a very naive person that doesn't know how to do that stuff, and maybe they're using an iPhone and you're not used to that, or vice versa, or they've got one of these fandangled Sony, or I can't even pronounce the name. Huawei? I don't know. You know the one. Right. I don't know my way around these phones. I'm being honest. I don't know them. So what you want to do then is say to them, I'll tell you the quickest way, switch your mobile off, switch it on and watch the screen, and up comes the make and model.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm trying to do is give you every chance to get this information, okay? Because you need those items for when you're filling in that online form. And then what usually happens with most of them is once they've applied, it sends them to an email which they have to click on a link, and then finally it says that the company is applying for the handset to be unlocked. All right, that's what happens. An alternative to get a phone unlocked, you do get them. I have them. People that haven't got a damn clue. They can't do Zoom. You're not with them. You're talking on the phone and they are as naive as anything. What I do is ask them, you know where they are. Anyone can do this. Go online and type in independent mobile shop near wherever they live. And say to them, I've just found an independent mobile phone shop. They do unlocking. Take your handset in and they'll get it unlocked for you immediately. They usually do it within an hour because it's purely codes. That's what I understand it to be.
Yeah.
Now, that may cost them about £15. Good news is, tell them to keep the receipt and we submit that up to Utility Warehouse and they will pay that out of the £200.
Yeah.
So there's many ways. Do they say to skin a cat? I hope it's not. But there's many ways to do this. Yeah. So the unlocking is absolutely the most important thing before you submit a pack code.
Yeah.
So, finally, your customer calls you, WhatsApps you and says, yes, my phone's unlocked. And just please ensure, say why, how do you know, find out what they've received that confirms that. Yeah. Once that's in place, it's happy days. Okay. While you've been on the appointment, this is the how you get the pack code. This is the next bit. So let's say you're with them face to face. That's the loveliest one. You can't beat it. You really can't. Because generally speaking, like I did one on Saturday, and that's why I was looking for a nice place to eat, because we met up in Sainsbury's at Weymouth. Good cafe, good Wi-Fi to be able to, yeah, excellent. So I'm there, and this lady, do you know what? She just wants me to do everything. And you get those people, and that's great. Yeah. So I get her handset and I go to text messaging, ordinary text messaging. Listen, Apple users sometimes seem to get mixed up. We're not on about, I don't know, what do they call it? They've got a different text messaging. We're on about a normal text message. Yeah. And what you do is you go in there and you bring up to create a new message.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the top, which is the recipient, where you may have normally had a name or a mobile number, you type in 65075. Then, to create the writing, the body of the text, you type in capitals, Papa Alpha Charlie. Now I'm going to tell you this. This is absolutely true. Please don't laugh too loud. But I had a couple, both Irish, and I said to him, type in there Papa Alpha Charlie. He typed Papa, P-A-P-A, Alpha, A-L-P-A. So proceed with, tell them to type in P-A-C, which is Papa Alpha Charlie. I tell you what, I've had everything. I promise you, I've had everything. Oh, that one made me smile. So now, all of them are different. All the suppliers, the network suppliers are different. Vodafone are the naughtiest of the lot. Vodafone ask for a PIN. I've not met a single customer yet that ever knew that they had a PIN number. I believe it's a scam, a total scam, because what they're out to do is get the customer to phone in. Okay, so bear that one in mind. On Saturday, the lady was with Talk Mobile, which was Vodafone. Yeah. Now, hear this out. She didn't know what to do. So I said to her, look, can I have your mobile? And if I do this on loudspeaker, I'm going to be you. And I'm going to go like that if there's something I don't know, to make it absolutely obvious so that you can quickly, gave her a pen and paper to write something down. But I had ready her email address, her mobile number, her date of birth, her address, inside leg measurement, you know what I mean. Yeah. All the stuff. And the other item that sometimes they ask is the last 4 digits of the bank account that pays the direct debit. Okay. So I'm all prepped. And from her phone, Talk Mobile was actually 5888. So I ring it. Incredibly, I got through after about 7, automateds. Hey, that's good. The competition don't make life easy. Anyway, so I get through this lady who was very pleasant, but do you know what I mean when they've got this kind of Yankee Filipino twang? Because they're not American. And you sort of think, where are they from? But you're not too sure. But she was very nice. Anyway, as it transpires, Talk Mobile operate from Egypt.
Egypt.
And she was working from home in Egypt. That was the customer services. Do you know
Yeah.
what? If you can see my lady, my customer, her face was a picture. She was screwed up laughing. So was her friend who was with her. And I'm going, shh. Anyway, I just know how to keep it short and sweet. And you might like to write this down because I've done it for years and it works. What's the one thing they're going to do is try and retain the customer. Of course they
Yeah.
are. Yeah. So I get through and give all the usual security information. And then the big question came back. So why are you leaving Talk Mobile? So I said, well, I've got a friend here called Lisa. And she's been a customer for 19 years of this incredible company called Utility Warehouse. And I'm moving over because I'm going to get my gas and my electric, and I'm going to get my phone and my broadband and my mobile all on one bill. And do you know what? Her everyday shopping, when she spends with a special card, she's never, ever paid for a mobile, ever. And I won't be paying for mine. This girl turns around and says, wow, that's amazing. I need that. So I then said, well, do you know what? I've got her email address and I've got her mobile number. If you want, I can give you it. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. So she said, would I be able to get that? And she, you know, I'm playing the customer. And she said, yeah. And she said, if I refer you, which is going on now, I'll get £50 off my bill. Anyway, I'm having a laugh with this woman. And she said, oh, so there's nothing I can do to make you stay as a customer. And I said, no. I said, I really want to move. She said, I don't blame you. It sounds fantastic. I said, well, I've already got another friend here and she's going to be doing it too. Anyway, so she gives me the pack code, all right, which is always 3 letters followed by 6 numerical digits. And then they tell you that there's 30 days. Now, the 30 days is the time, the duration you have before the pack code expires. And if you don't use it, they stay with that current supplier until you get another one afterwards.
Yeah.
So actually, getting a pack code isn't a surety that they're leaving. It's not a surety until it's actually used. So today, that lady sent me a picture of her UW SIM card and a little piece of paper. And guess what? And as I said to you, as lovely as she is, they forget stuff. And it just makes me smile because she put, oh, I'll put it in straight away. So I quickly WhatsApp back, no, do you remember? I'm going to give the pack code now. And in the next 24 hours, at some point, your mobile number is going to transfer over and replace that Utility Warehouse number. And when your phone service currently ceases, that's when you put in the new Utility Warehouse SIM card. That's the process. That's the process head office prefers us to use. It's added security for our customer. It's great for us because we know for sure everything's tickety-boo, it's all working. And then on your customer order status, you see using when all of a sudden they start using it and it's all happened. So that is getting a phone unlocked and porting. Now, just to say to you, Vodafone ask for a PIN number. I noticed that O2 asks for a date of birth, and so do EE. And the date of birth is usually day, month, and then it's the 4 digits of the year without slashes, if you get my drift. They're all different, all of them. 3 is, I'm going to say fascinating. I've got to be careful how I word. 3 operates from Pakistan, and I believe that that the advisors out there have been advised, whatever happens, don't give in. So I would say to you, the little kind of suggestion I made to you about taking over if you can and making that call and preempting, because can I tell you, I have been witness to people that I've been with and they wanted to make the call, and then the big question came up, why are you leaving? And straight away they get in there and they're constantly trying to offer them everything that they've never been offered before. All of a sudden they become the best customer, don't they? In fact, often if you can preempt people and forewarn them about this game that companies play, and actually say to them, do you think it's actually loyalty, that it's only when you threaten to leave that they're bribing you with a special deal? And I always think that that's something that, you know, is to help them think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
And say if they do, if you get somebody that will not allow help and they want to do it themselves, just say what I've said there, and then just say to that company, well, if it was such a good deal, really I should have been on it. So would you like to backdate my contract to that cheaper amount?
Yeah.
Okay. So any questions, guys? Because I know it's crazy that half an hour has passed, but you know, there's quite a few bits in there. Once you know it, it's easy.
Yeah.
It becomes easy, but it can be complicated when you don't know it. Is there any questions that you'd like to know?
One quick one, Lisa.
No, please.
You said 2 IMEI numbers. My phone is unlocked, and when I put that code in, it gives me an IMEI number and a serial number.
But yours
2
is
lock
unlocked.
numbers. The phone is definitely unlocked.
Yeah, well, sometimes that can happen, and that's why I'm on about making complete assurity that a handset is unlocked, because sometimes we don't know. We honestly, that's why I prefer face-to-face, because I just take my SIM card out and I put it into the customer's phone. And if I get the mobile signal and it says 4G and that, I know it's happy days, and that phone handset is unlocked.
Yeah. Lisa, we learned this from very, very early on, because we had a customer and he has assured us that his phone was unlocked. And so we said, you're absolutely sure, because you really need to check this. It was with free. And yeah. And then I got a really frantic phone call from him one day after he'd had the SIM and his wife had put it in, that his phone just wouldn't work. It just completely blank. And I said, you sure that it was unlocked? Yeah, it was unlocked. I don't know what's happened. I've tried to get hold of free, and it's like I've been sitting on the phone for 2 hours. And what happened was it completely locked the phone, and he had to buy a new phone. There was no way around it. So it learned us very, very early on to make sure that that's done. It's very, very important.
You know what? It's when it's all done the way that I've kind of explained, it's simple. And sometimes it can be terribly frustrating, because you think, oh, there's all this to do. But actually, I have to say, as the years have gone by, I'm finding it simpler.
Yeah.
And if you show that support and that customer help, which, let's just be completely frank here, everyone, there is no other company that has us that offers to do this stuff. If you're not wanting to do that, you're missing a trick, because that's what actually makes us unique. And the funny thing is, and I'm going to tell you the words of a lady that's recently joined as a partner. She's given me over the last 3 years 12 referrals. It might be 13. Don't hold me to it. But bit by bit, I've signed up a block of flats. They're all homeowners. I've also done her brother-in-law down in Deal in Kent, and we did that purely by remote and the phone. All sorts. And her words are, in fact, I could show it because it's on WhatsApp, and it said, I gave you such a hard time when we met you. And we met at a Winner Mini outside of Marks and Spencer's. In fact, Annette was on that particular one. It was a very hard Winner Mini. It was a difficult place to be situated. But they came along, and I had to work very hard with these two. They nearly 3 times cancelled everything. But I pursued it. And now, not only has she become an amazing referrer, but what is wonderful is she's now, thank you, darling. She's now joined as a partner. And Stuart and I have named them the G's, the geriatrics, in the nicest way, because she is gorgeous. She's a lovely, lovely lady, and I want her to succeed. So there you are. Because now she refers, and she said, what was lovely was that you just kind of looked after us. And she said, when I recommend it to people, I say to them, you're going to be looked after like you've never known before. So there you are. We make the difference. We are the 6-star customer service.
Yeah.
Lisa,
Yeah.
with your 2 IMEI numbers, what happens if it's a dual SIM phone?
That's unlocked as well. Dual SIM phones are unlocked.
Right. Okay.
And then Isabel, I haven't forgotten you. You put your hand up.
Thanks, Lisa. It's just you said that you shouldn't put in the UW SIM until the current suppliers disappeared. How do they know that does the screen just go blank or something?
That's a great question. Thank you. I like that. That's a good, right.
Sorry, I thought it was a silly question.
No, it's not. It's not a silly question. Say to them that what's going to happen is all of a sudden their phone service will literally just stop. That there'll be nothing. And at that point, I always have a joke with them, and I say, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Right? Because that's the moment you put in the utility warehouse SIM card. And I said, then what happens? Amazingly, you switch on and everything's there and it all works. Right, guys, next week, what would you like to talk about next week? Come on. No? Nobody got any ideas? No? You know, broadband used to be a difficult one, didn't it? But it's not anymore. It's plug and play and it all works.
Yeah.
Lisa,
Yes.
next week, you do when you talking to an energy customer,
Yeah.
they're with a failed company and they haven't been switched over yet to their new supplier nominated by Ofgem, what rules are, and
Do you want us to talk about all the different anomalies of
Yes.
what's going on? Yeah, would that be good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down now. Energy market switching. All right. And I promise not to be Martin Lewis and say don't switch.
It's changing. Yeah.
Do you know what? I attended the Southampton op last night. It was brilliant. There was Derek Thomas and he was so, so good. And he made me smile. In fact, you were there, weren't you, Lindsay? We had a minute's silence for Bulb, didn't we? Meant in the best possible way, because, hey, there will be people, very sadly, that are going to lose their jobs. If you know anybody that works for Bulb, I'd say get in there now. The big note to say to you, everybody's asking, Bulb customers, get on and switch them, guys. They're going nowhere. They're not going to a supplier of the last resort. The government is literally administering them in a kind of, a sort of a, what can you say, administration type thing. It's pretty sad news, and all of us are going to be paying for this. Every single customer up and down the land. So all those bulb customers that thought they were absolutely wonderful with what they got, we can smile quietly inside and say to ourselves, we have the best. I've got the best supplier. We're going nowhere. And if anybody has seen the incredible results that have been announced to the city today, it is fantastic news. The share price has rocketed. So investors are absolutely sound that Utility Warehouse is just like, it's here to stay. I'm going to say to you guys, pass the word around the teams. Make the most of this. It will never come by ever again. This is unprecedented times. It's come a bit later than Andrew and Justin had hoped and all of them. It's here. It will never get any better. Honestly, it is formidable what we've got now. And everybody saves is fantastic.
Quick question
Oh,
for you, Lisa,
yes, go
before
on,
you sign
Rod.
off. If they're with Bulb and in credit, can we still transfer them?
The government is saying that they're going to honour the credit, but I would say, again, doing the right thing for the customer is always the thing that you do. I would advise them, I would hang on, wait for them to know that they're going to get their credit. But say to them, well, let's keep in touch. We don't want them losing that credit. I wouldn't want anyone to lose that. That's their money.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they've handed that money over, and basically you're almost giving a company, you know, you're giving them savings. And what, I don't know if any of you are aware, but, you know, Bulb were doing some pretty naughty things. They were raising those direct debits, even though there was already enough in the kitty to cover their yearly amount. And they were raising the direct debits to try and get investment money to keep them afloat. So that's why there's lots of people with credit. Okay, if that makes sense, if you got it.
Yeah, I've got
Right,
two
guys, I
questions.
better go. Otherwise, do you know what will happen? The people that see the recorded go, oh, I thought it was meant to be 30 minutes and it's now 39. Right, guys, see you next week. I've written it down. We'll talk about it all. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.